and welcome back to SkyT. In the last episode, we worked on our mechanism reactors, getting everything ready to go, and hopefully everything is now ready. We made sure all the connections and everything were correct, so all we have to do now is basically just turn this thing on and let it start generating antimatter. Almost. There's a few things we do need to set up, which is going to be a centrifuge and a solar neutron activator to turn the nuclear waste that these guys generate into polonium and plutonium. Now, I haven't tested this yet. Each one of these guys are full. By default, they're only at a burn rate of 0.1, but we're just going to increase that to 1 just to see what happens. Temperature's rising. We're not losing coolant. Waste is okay. Looks like we're generating in and out. This turbine should be starting to fill up with steam, which it is, generating 45,000 FE. And this guy here's got a load of superheated sodium. Now, the higher we add to the burn rate, the more sodium will be pulled out of this guy and pumped into this guy. So we need to make sure we have enough throughput. I can't remember what it was in all the mods 8. I think we had something like 50 or maybe 60. So let's turn this thing off and turn it up to 10. You know, the big jump, but this should be capable of doing that. Oh yeah, no issue. Good, let's go all the way up to 25. I barely made a dent, and the number is stable. Damn, okay, so this is actually doing well, and this thing's already generating 1 million FE, which should be going into our induction matrix. I have made that thing a little bit bigger, but we are definitely going to have to make sure there is enough capacity, because if the storage of the power gets full, these guys here will back up, and it will not be pretty. All right, so I'm just going to fine tune this until we find the right number, and then we can get to work on refining the fuel. Let's bump it up to 50. No issues at all. Not that I can see. Not losing any water in here. We are now generating 2.2 million. Yeah, I don't think this thing will have any issues going up to, like, I don't know. It says max burn rate is like 700. So what if we just throw it to 100? What will happen? It's working as intended. Beautiful. And we're still good. We could easily probably go to 200. If we only use this little much on 100, I'd say we could easily get to 200. I did make a backup before I start recording. Let's just see what happens. 200. Yeah, it's fine, I think. The last 3 numbers are stable. You're not losing any water. You're not losing water. You've got a lot of steam in you. 9 million. Damn, if we connect the other ones, we'll have 27 million power just generating right here. What's going on in there? Oh, doesn't connect. The texture's not working. Okay, so if that's the case, we could probably go to 300 and that will be enough. Now, the only thing about going with super crazy high burn rates is we are going to be chewing through our fuel very quickly. And you can see it's a lot more orange in there because we've got less thing, and it is a very hot right now. But if we are looking here, we should see our nuclear waste, and it's going up very quickly. Oh, and the color disappeared in here because it's stabilized. And how much power are we generating in here? I do have the thing set to vent excess. Oh my, 13 million. God damn. All right. Yeah. All right. I guess we'll just stick with a burn rate of 300 in each. So that's 900, nearly a bucket each. Or should we make it go to a bucket between all of them? Ooh, maybe. Maybe we'll change it to 350 for each one. Sodium built up in here, but as long as that empties out and goes into the thing, that's why it looks orange in there. And now it's emptied and it's good. So we are stabilized, but you can see we are below half of our coolant, but it is stabilized and we are generating enough. And our power, oh my god, this thing's nearly full, and we're generating basically 16 million. That is insane. And our fuel capacity is dropping. No, it's going up. It's going up faster than we're using it, so that's beautiful. Okay, we can turn these ones on too. So this guy should be capable of 350. Yep, he's stabilized. Beautiful. And last but not least, this guy. All right. Oh. Why did you turn off? Well, at least our system here kind of worked. Activation on high temperature. Why did you turn off? Oh, okay. The coolant dropped very quickly. This guy here is not getting enough water. How? Did I miss one of the connections on this thing? They're all the same, so it shouldn't be an issue. You're generating 16. You're generating 16. Yeah, it's just this guy over here didn't... Huh. Well, at least we know the safety precautions work. It turned itself off without causing any issues. And these guys still stable? They are. Right, I'm gonna have to figure out what's going on with this guy, but the fact that these guys are running, let's get everything else set up first before I get to work on this guy. So what we need is a solar neutron activator. Do we have one? No, we don't, so we need to craft one. I'm only going to make one of each, and we're also going to need, I think, a pressurized reaction chamber. Now, what these two things are going to do, so if we look at polonium, oh yeah, and we're also going to need a centrifuge. This guy, actually, we're going to need two of these things. I forgot we need one for each fluid. Okay, so if we say from the center here, we don't want to break this cable because that will just cause massive issues like radiation in the whole area. What we want to do, actually, I'm going to turn these off just so they're not so loud in my ear right now. We'll just do this. So pressurized tube, let's actually get this guy here set up first. So we're going to have one here and we're going to have another one here. Okay, so we're going to say side configuration, items in the top, out the right. Energy, fine. Fluids, water is going to be pumped in the left side, and gases will be input through the back and output out the front. Because then we can hook up the cable, the pressurized tube here, and run it over and connect it to our waste barrels over there, which will store the nuclear or the spent nuclear waste. Now what we need is pressurized tubes, and we're going to actually run up the actual like waste production now, because we don't want these things here filling up. All right, so that's connected now, so any spent nuclear waste will go into them barrels. Next, then we just want to grab out some ender tanks, dye them blue so it'll output water into this guy. Export, and now configure this guy, so items in the top, out the left, and fluids, gases, that's fine, in there, out there. Auto eject on. Okay, so it's two ender chests now. Actually, we can just use one ender chest and just use a pipe to pump into each one. So we can put an ender chest there, and then a pipe. Now, the last thing this thing is going to require is fluorite dust. Because if we look at polonium here, polonium is, wait, fuel, oil. Oh, okay, so any type of fluid block, water works as well. Okay, a bit worried there. But we need fluoride dust. And then the polonium with fluoride dust will make our polonium pellets. And the same thing as well for plutonium as just fluoride dust. So we need to grab an ender chest of fluoride dust to pump into these two here. So let's look up ender chest and we'll customize our own one. So let's do like a blue and a gray. So we'll do a second ender chest on top, and we'll dye this one gray on the sides and blue in the middle. Nothing's connected to that, so let's hook up our system over here now. Okay, so technically connecting it up like this should work. There's some cable anchors not to connect it there. And if we just grab out some fluorite now, 100k of that in there with some acceleration upgrades. And we're also going to need speed upgrades too for the machine. All right, now we just need to give the thing power. And now we're getting our fluorite dust. Now from here, this is going to go like that, but we're just going to disconnect the pipes so it doesn't actually connect here. Actually, you know what? Let's actually have it come out the top, like so. And basically then on the back, I've accidentally put it away, but the solar neutron activator and the press and the centrifuge. Actually, let's just make a fresh one because I don't know what's in this guy. We can connect this right here, and then this one right here. And we also need to give this stuff here power, so cable. And power can just go in right here. All right, so this guy should be pretty much ready. Just tell this thing here to extract. Probably give it a pipe upgrade just in case. I doubt it'll need it, but yeah, everything's basically ready to go. Just grab out some tubes. Connect this guy up first. So let's just say this guy is going to say no items, but gases is going to input, output out the front. Same for this guy. He's going to no items, but gases are going to input back and output out the front. That should be everything then. These guys now are going to start filling with polonium and plutonium. I just need some upgrades for this centrifuge. Now, whatever you do, do not break these machines or we'll have issues. Give these guys here some upgrades too. And now we're making polonium pellets and plutonium pellets. And if you look over here, these guys here are slowly filling with nuclear waste. And the thing about it is it does delete like 1 millibucket every tick or something like that. I'm not entirely sure, but you can see the ones that are filling like 3 and then it drops down to 1. So it is deleting it over time. I think it actually says on the waste barrel. Decay rate is 0.25 millibuckets a tick, or it deletes 5 millibuckets every second. So that's actually not bad. And that has already used up all of the waste in here. And that's good. So now that we're generating polonium, we can actually finally start working on making our other machines. Well, the first one we need is the SPS. So the SPS has to be made in the advanced crafting table. So let's turn back on these 2 reactors. They should be good. I still don't know what's going on with this guy. Like, why is he not Wait. Oh, that could be it. You're set wrong. How do I fix it? I'm gonna have to break it. That could have been what the issue was. If it's pumping it wasn't allowing the sodium to go back into the system properly anyway. The rest of these all good? They all look to be. Let's try it again. Nope, water dropped immediately. Something's definitely wrong with this setup here. And I don't know what. Unless I have the burn rate too high, 350. These guys are 350 as well, right? Yeah, so I don't know what's going on in here. Give me a minute to figure this out. All right, I couldn't get the thing to work at 350. It seems to work fine at 100, so I don't know what's going on with it. It probably has something to do with like one port I've missed and I'm just not able to spot it. Maybe it's glitched, I don't know. But what we need to work on now is cyanide reprocessing. Remember, we were making the cyanide from our reactor. We have over 1,000 of it right now. We need to turn this into plutonium. And to do that, we need a cyanide reprocessor. Pretty simple, just this guy pumping in some water. So we just need an ender tank with some water in it. Okay, and where are we actually going to put this? You know what, I'll probably just do it in the void dimension, why not? I've actually turned off the reactors because it turns out they made quite a lot of plutonium already. Like there's already 500 of it here, and the polonium, there's already 400 of it there. And I need more polonium than plutonium. So for now, I think, how are we going to do this? Probably the same way we did it here. So cyanide reprocessor. Actually, we need this into an ender tank. I didn't really think of it out this properly. Okay, you know what? Since this thing needs water, we can tell this guy here to actually extract, pump the water into the back of this guy then, from under here and give it some power, like so, and then we can use a interface with some pipes. So actually, we already have an interface right there. This guy should be filtered to only take out the biomass. Let's actually make sure it does that. Do you only take out biofuel? Okay. Here, we wanted to have two inputs actually. So we wanted to come out this way and in here. Oh, this is just a big spaghetti mess right now. Disconnect you, and run you up, but disconnect everything. I know this isn't proper, but I don't care at this point. I just want to get this done. So you're going to extract, and then from you, you're going to insert here. And what are you going to be extracting? The cyanide. Now it's working. Wow, this is slow. I guess time for time in the bottle. And now the water can't keep up. Okay, now that that's been made, let's head back. Still a few more things we need to set up, which is going to be an ender infuser. But first, let's have a look here what we need right now. The first thing we're going to need is an advanced blast furnace. So we do need the crafting table. So, ludicrous. How do we make that? Ludicrous can be made like this. So 9 blocks of it already. Nice. Now look up crafting. We need to make an advanced crafting table. We have everything for it, so make it, please. Ah, luminescence. That's what's taking a while. And the black iron slates. Might as well make 1,000 of each one of these guys since we're going to need a lot of them. Guess while we're waiting, we might as well make the ender infuser or the ender crafter. So that plus a bunch of these things. Do we have the ender thing? No, I'm just going to make a pattern for it. Actually, you know what? Then we just need Eye of Ender, so that's fine. Craft me 1,000 of them. And no, not pattern. Just grab me 64 of them. Just remove this cable. And essentially what we want to do is put the ender crafter like right here. And we just want to surround the thing with as many of these things as possible, while still having access to the actual crafter itself. We might be able to do something like that. I don't know how far away it works, but all I know is from previous experience, I don't know if this works the same way as the old ones I used to use. This should just work like this, and we should be able to reach in there. So using this, the recipes we need to make is enhanced ender ingots and ender stars, which is going to be eyes of ender and nether stars. And is that working? They seem to be doing something. Okay, it is still very slow. Will this make it go faster? Yes, it does. Okay. We have, wow, we're down to 36 hours. I had 80 in this at one point. Wow, okay. Do we need these guys for anything else? Okay, we don't need it for much, so we can make more later. Oh, wow, it makes loads of the go. Nice, okay, we're good. And that crafting table is now made. We do want to actually make this the auto one, because then we can set up patterns for it. Ah, we need crystalline ingots first, which means we do need the elite crafting table. So I guess craft me one of those now as well. While we're waiting, then we can actually put this guy down right here, because the auto crafting ones do require power. So we'll be able to run a power cable across the back here now in a moment and have our pattern providers on top. But the first thing we need now is the SPS. Oh, it made the elite one already. Nice. Okay, we can put that one there. Do we actually need the basic ones for anything? Okay, the infinity catalyst can only be made in the basic ones. All right, we might as well have one of each table then. So this is where our bottles of Owen Hyper Enchanting come in. So do we actually have those right now? Bottles of Enchanting? No. That has to be used in a fluid encapsulator with bottles. All right, let's go set those up. Hopefully there's enough pattern lanes here. Network booting, device missing channel. Okay, this can't go here. This should work. Pipe and just wrench here to disconnect this part. And we want this to extract. This is going to extract the bottles of enchanting out into the system. What this is going to have here is bottles, which is going to take in, so auto insert. And now we just need the hyper experience, which we should be able to put there, max it out, and off it goes. Now it's making us our bottles, and I'm just going to speed this up to extract. So what do we need for the crystalline ingots? Let's actually grab ourselves out a pattern provider first and get them hooked up above each one. And then we're just going to put a chest, just temporarily, just for the items to be inputted into, okay? So for the crystalline ones, we're going to put that there. Now we're going to create the pattern for it, okay? Put that in here, and now we can request it. So say we need 10 of them. That's going to insert the items we need into the crafting table. And then, wait, basic crafting. Wait, is this not the one we need? Oh, it's the elite one. Okay, let's come over here and do it. All the items go in, and there we go, 12 crystalline ingots. Now what we can do is actually upgrade that into an automatic elite crafting table. I think we should be able to do it by now. Redstone ingot things, calorite and liquid titanium. Whoa, okay, I didn't expect that one. Where the hell are we going to set this up now? All right, so for the calorite setup, we're just going to do this way. We have it squeezed in here. We have an export bus here, which is going to export out the liquid deuterium and the calorite. I had to go into the void dimension and set up an old, where we were making deuterium, rotary condensator it and start storing in its own tank right here. So I had to do that. But now we can do that and stick an import bus right here and then just connect it with a cable just so it all goes back into the system. And might need an acceleration upgrade too. Okay, so that's actually making the redstone ingots now. So now we might be able to make ourselves our upgraded version. So redstone components, 2 of them, that's all it needs. We also then need 2 crystalline components, make 6 of them. And now we can make ourselves the auto elite crafting table. Stick that right here, says it needs power, so we'll just grab out a cable. I'm gonna go as far as there because we'll probably do the whole length of it here, because we are going to have our neutronium collectors and everything there too. So all we need to do now is come up here, break you, and actually move you down, just so you're set up to be input, and we want it to block mode, so do not push if it has an inventory of stuff already. Then what we want to do is say pattern. We need to actually lay out the pattern in here first. So before we do that, actually put that back there, put the chest, and then this, look up the crystalline ingot again, craft me 1, and now we just need to lay out the patterns in here. Now what way does it go? Diamonds on the side, lapis. Okay, all right, so we want to shift click here to save this pattern, and now this table should not craft anything else. The elite crafting table doesn't craft anything else other than this, I believe. Yes, okay, so this one can stay like that. We just need a point for power. Now we'll slowly craft it, and I don't know if it auto ejects out. I don't think so. So we might need to have a pipe that will pull back up into it. Yeah, okay. So craft me like 100 more. Set the pattern, and this thing should go. Might need to reset it. Does it not input directly into this guy? Oh, I actually need to use a chest to pump the items into it. Seriously? Okay. Well, it seems that the chest version doesn't work. It's like the items cannot be pumped in to the top, which kind of does make sense. Will it go into the side? No? Underneath? Where do these items go? I don't get it. Okay, this might be the stupidest way to do this, but I've tried everything and I couldn't get the pipes to work. I don't know why it wasn't working. I even tried using like the auto packager or something. I don't know. Nothing was working. But then I tried hoppers, and for some reason, hoppers do work. So if the pattern set up in here, and now if we look up at extended, we can say craft me 10 of these, and it'll put the items in. And because of how fast this hopper is, it inserts them very quickly. Now the only thing we're limited by is the speed of the actual crafting table. And then I have hoppers underneath it, sucking the items out into an ender chest, which will then complete the craft. Which is good, and I think I made up the rest of the patterns we need for each one of these guys now as well. Just a bit worried on time right now. Just trying to think. Let's work on getting ourselves Draconic Evolution at least started. because then next episode we can set up the auto crafting for it. So the first things we're going to need for Draconic Evolution is, of course, a Draconic Core, which comes from Plutonium and Draconic Blocks. Draconic Blocks come from Draconium ingots in a multi-server press. To get the ingots, you need to blast it with a blast furnace. Now, I do believe this multi-pattern here, I did check it in a creative world. When you put it down, it actually shows you the structure. So we just have to make everything here. So we need the SPS. So let's actually look at that first. So SPS, actually, let's ignore Draconic Evolution for now. Let's actually just get our Antimatter being made. So this needs to be made in this type of crafting table here. So let's create a pattern for that. Put that in here. And now, how much SPS do we actually need? Let's just craft like 60 to begin with. What are we missing? We need Enhanced Ender Catalyst and 15 Advanced Machine Blocks. Okay. Aren't these the machine blocks? Oh, they're just the regular ones. I need the advanced ones now. So this pattern has to go in here somewhere, and then this one can go in there. And the only thing we're missing right now is actually some of the FTB contraptions, or is it contraptions? Yeah, industrial contraptions. We actually need some of those. Yay. Right, so let's have a look here. So SPS, we need copper wire and carbon plates. So how would you make that? Carbon plates require carbon fiber mesh in a compressor. This seems to be just made in the crafting automatically, and I think I have that already set up. So we need to make ourselves a compressor, and for the copper wire, we need an extruder. Copper rods have to be made through the rolling thing here, but I feel like I did make those before, did I not? Or maybe I'm turned it into this. Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to go and set up a temporary controller thing, or a roller. All right, let's get these FTP contraptions machines set up. So we have ourselves a compressor. Now, unfortunately, I don't know how these things work. How does the power conversion work? Because if I put this down right here and connect it to this cable, it might explode. Not sure. Unless I can... Will it actually connect to these cables? Let me actually check first. Just a basic cable. It doesn't connect. Oh, okay. So the cable we are going to have to use then is the IV cable. But how do we convert that? Oh, it allows a one-way conversion. So we can only convert the zaps, which is what that little lightning bolt is, into FE at 1 to 4. So our best bet is probably just to set up some sort of solar panel. And if we need solar panels, we should probably do it in the void dimension. We'll just do the machines here. We don't need that many of them. So we're going to need ourselves some solar panels. How do we make those now? Okay, so we have some LV solar panels right here. We want to use these now to upgrade. So we are going to need some of these red crystals. No problem. And we're going to need advanced circuits. That's okay. And that will make us a MV solar panel. Only 2. We need definitely a lot more than that. I want to at least make 1 HV, because what we can do then is use transformer upgrades. It'd be easier if I just made a pattern for everything here. The only issue is we're currently running out of space in our pattern grid. Like, we don't have that much space left in here. I think we've like these 5-6 slots here. Yikes, that is not a lot. I mean, a lot of them we could probably remove now, like all these different crafting patterns here, since we've already made the crafting tables. We don't need them anymore. All of the different netherite ingots, we don't need those either. We probably don't even need the actual like reactor patterns anymore. So I'll probably have to go through this at some stage and just clean out what we don't need. Like evaporation towers, we don't need that anymore. Enrichment factories, we don't need those either. All right, so we have the transformation upgrades in there now. We have some EV cable, which should be more than enough. The last thing I want to do is actually upgrade this MV solar panel here into this one. Iridium alloy, we don't have that. These guys need power. Okay, so how do we give these guys power right now? Do they run off of redstone? Can I just pump redstone in here? No, okay. So we are just going to have to run the EV solar panel or the MV solar panels just for the moment until this thing is actually made enough and then we can replace them. So we'll just do that and just run these out, and then we can just connect up the solar panels like this. And do they get power now? Does solar panels not work in this dimension? Hang on. Are we going to have to use a different method? Okay, they do work in this dimension, so they don't work in the void, but they will work here. That's a little disappointing, considering I wanted to have it all in the void dimension, because I don't really have space for it here. But I guess that's what has to be done. If that's the case, then we'll just have to do it here. It's not going to be exactly what I want, but it'll have to be done this way. So we're just going to run the cable along here, and then we'll grab out our extruder, put it there, and our compressor we can actually have them right next to each other because they're going to be like an automatic eject upgrade on them. And let's actually look that up. Just need 2 ejection upgrades, and that should point them up the way, or it should just pump out into whatever one it can. If that's actually the case, then we might want to separate these 2. And the rest of these 2 slots here can be overclock upgrades. And last but not least then is, I didn't want to do this, but we're going to have to break a hole in the wall here and run our solar panels out here instead. But, okay, there we go. They're getting power, so the power should be going into these 2. Yep, and these guys have an internal buffer, so they should just fill up over time. And yeah, now we should be able to put our pattern providers back on top. This guy here is for the extruder, so you're just going to be making a copper wire, and you go in there like that, and give it some time. I don't know if speeding up these things make a difference. Okay, it does. I wasn't sure, like, is that going to overdraw on the power and cause them to explode? But as you can see, the items are being automatically ejected back into the pattern provider. The only thing is I need to hook up the actual cables here. There we go. Now, coal balls need to be turned into a compressed coal ball, so just make 100 of those for now. Okay, this requires tin crystals as part of the fluid cell recipe. Screw that, I'm not bothering with that. I'm in a bottle to the rescue. Yeah, because the main thing I want to do is upgrade these solar panels here. So to do that, we're going to need an iridium circuit. So the iridium alloy, I don't know how we haven't made any of that, but I guess I'll just make a bunch of it. And the advanced alloy, I do have set up to craft, so we'll just make like 10,000 of that. Okay, now, actually, then again, these guys have plenty of power, so I really don't need to upgrade the solar panels. But it would be ideal later on, because then we'll have the antimatter one. So let's actually look that up. Antimatter. We need the antimatter constructor, which is made like that using actual antimatter pellets. Okay, I don't think we're going to make this today. Let's just get ourselves our SPS going, and that should be more or less the end of it then. We're just missing 3 enhanced ender ingots, and then we can let it craft. Nice. All right, let's make those. Okay, actually looking at the copy and paste gadget here, it actually says we need 81 SPS casings. Probably a lot more, so we might as well request 100 of them. Because we actually need, like, how many of those ports? 38. Copper rods and iron rods, we don't have enough. How do we not have enough all of a sudden than we did before? Oh, because it needs 152 casings. Okay. I guess I'll just set up the craft the rest of these and get the SPS casings made. Alright, BRB. Alright, we have all the SPS casing made. Wait, that's not all of it. Need a little bit more than that. There it is. Making up some cable right now. So trying to line this up probably around here. So we'll say 3 here, 1, 3, 1. Oh, my sound was turned down. And then 3, 1, and then 3. And yeah, basically you have to build the same shape all the way around. I can't remember if I had them on the bottom. I don't think I did. So I think I filled this entire bottom in. Okay, and then similar thing here. So there's 3, and then goes up 1, break this. And then same thing again here, break an up 1, and then into the corner up. And then up 3. You know, I should probably use the structural glass to use as a frame. So that'll go on top there, the glass, and then across. So you just basically build the same shape on all 6 sides of this thing. I think it's 6. And I think on one of the sides, I left completely empty, just so we can look inside. I don't know how, but I somehow have 3 left over. But what I want to do is fill a line on each side then. The rest with structural glass. Make sure I don't miss any spots. Kind of hard to tell. I don't know why all the connected textures are breaking like that. There we go. Okay, so now it's completely built. We have 2 leftover ports, which we're going to put 1 on the side here, I'd say. So we'll put 1 SPS port here. That's going to be input of the polonium, okay? Then on the opposite side, we're going to have another one. Put it there, and then grab out our configuration tool and sound configure so we want it to output, okay? Then we want to grab out a tube, and then we want a chemical crystallizer, and we're basically just going to say, you put there, items, output at the right, gases into top. Yeah, and then we'll hook it up to power. So tube go there, and then we need to run this tube over here. I want to make sure I do this correctly. Okay, and we're not on wrench mode, so I want to break this so that's not connected. It seems to have just pulled out any remaining polonium and pumped it into here, okay? Now, I want to turn on the reactors. Make sure the sodium levels are okay. Yes, they are. Activate you. Everything good? It seems so. And then turn on you. I could probably go way higher than 100, but just to be safe, I'll keep it on 100. Now, this guy here is slowly filling with polonium. Actually, already full. Wow, this is producing a lot very quickly. One thing I forgot, actually. Scram. I forgot to fill the inside of it here with the supercharged coils. There we go. Back out. Hopefully the thing still works like that. I don't want to break the supercritical phase shifter just in case. But now what I have to do is just grab out some cable and cover every single one of these ports here so we can provide them with power. We'll run a power cable down just to power this guy down too. Okay, now we just grab out a point so we can manually control the amount of power that this guy will be using. So you go on top, set our network, and you can see it's already gone off. And now you can see it has a slow progress. So at this rate, we're using about 800,000 FE, and that is only producing a 0.002 millibuckets of antimatter per tick. So what we can do is bypass the limit, and it's extracting out 137 million. Now, our current power input is like, I think 4 million. So we want to probably limit it to when these two reactors are turned on. So let's have a limit of, say, 32 million. Is that 32 million? That's 3 million, 32 million. And we'll set the limit to that. Now, if we turn back on the reactors, now the power that these two here are generating is enough to fuel this guy completely. And if we have a look down here now, this guy here is slowly filling with antimatter. Then what we want to do is just grab out an ender chest, stick it right there, and then we want to say, because I think we faced it this way, items, auto eject, and once it finally makes an antimatter, it needs 1,000 millibuckets to make one. So I think it's like 1 million millibuckets of polonium to make one antimatter or something like that. I could be wrong. Hey, look, technical glass is kind of working and sometimes not. And these guys here are still stable. Cool. All right, we'll turn you back on as well, just to get a little bit of extra power going. Looking over here then, let's have a look at our power draw. So we are currently inputting in 41 million, and we're only draining about, we can actually check on the plug over here. We are currently draining 32.1 million. So that's perfect. So all we have to do now is kind of just basically AFK until it makes enough. So with the rate that we're inputting in, we're getting 0.04 millibuckets antimatter a tick, which is not that bad, to be honest, but this will still take a long time. It might take a few nights of AFKing just to generate up enough. We don't need a lot. We just need a small bit. Like, antimatter right now is only going to be used to make one quantum compressor, because I'm not going to bother making one for each singularity. You only need one, so we just need one antimatter. In here, we need another 6 for making our overworld portal, or another 4, so that will make us 5 antimatter. In here, we need 2 more for this antimatter, so that will make us 7 antimatter. And then in here, we need 2 more for making the thing in here. So we're looking at probably something like 10 antimatter, and that's it. So I don't know how long that's going to take, but we got everything running now. So I'm going to end it there. Hope you all enjoyed. And if you did, don't forget that like button, subscribe if you're new, and hit the notification bell when you're at it then as well. So without any further ado, goodbye.